Well, good evening, everyone. Tuesday conversation. 5 weeks, 35 days until the election. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Jay Stittleburg, candidate for county judge in Montgomery County. Tuesday, another week has gone by, another great week, I might add. Getting out and about and seeing people and talking to people and listening to what their issues are in the county. Really enjoy that. It's the best part of this whole campaign, is being able to get out there and talk to all of you. And like I said, 35 days until Election Day on November 6th. It's right around the corner. We've been at this for over a year, and it seems like it's just flown by. It's just been incredible going around the county and meeting everybody. But again, if you're not registered to vote, here, I'll get on it. If you're not registered to vote, you still have a week to do it. You have to be registered by October 9th. That's a week from today. So if you're not registered, you need to get registered. And there's a couple things you can do. If you're over 65 or older, you should have received an application for a ballot by mail. You need to fill that out and fill it out completely and send it back so that you can receive your ballot in the mail. So you don't even have to go anywhere. You don't have to get in your car. They'll send it right to your house. You can fill it out and then send it back. And if you are able to get out but you're not registered, then you can go again to either of the party headquarters, the Democratic Party headquarters on North Fraser, or you can go to the Republican Party headquarters on Metcalf in downtown Conroe, and there's always somebody there that'll be able to register you to vote. That's the best way to do it, to register with a VDVR and get it taken care of. That way that paperwork will absolutely get submitted. Or you can go to the Election Central Office, which is on Airport Road out by the Lone Star Convention Center near the Conroe Airport. So any one of those ways you can do it. I encourage you to do it. If you have friends that aren't registered, encourage them to get registered to vote so you can participate in our democratic process. And early voting starts in 20 days, just less than 3 weeks. Early voting starts on October 22nd. We are in October now. October 22nd. It goes October 22nd through November 2nd. That whole 2-week period, even over the weekend, so you'll be able to vote on Saturday or Sunday if you're not able to get out some other time. So I always encourage people to early vote, because you can go to any polling location, early voting location in the county, and vote there. So you don't have to go to a specific one during early voting. You can go to any of them. So I encourage you to do that, and it doesn't take very long. Hopefully we can change that, because we certainly want more people to come out and vote. I would love to see lines at the polling locations during early voting, because that just means more people are engaged in the process in electing the officials that represent them. So again, I encourage you to do it. Now, if you can't and you do have to vote on Election Day, or you just choose to vote on Election Day, November 6th, then that's absolutely fine. Just remember that you have to go to your polling location that is assigned for your precinct. So just make sure that you do that, and also make sure, even if you are registered to vote, make sure your address is right on your voter registration, because that's also something that can come into play. So just make sure that if you are registered, that your address is correct for where you live. It just makes everything easier. That way you can participate and do your civic duty and vote. Now, like I said, we're 5 weeks from the election, 35 days, and you need to be engaged. You need to vet these candidates, vet us, look at us, research us, so that you know who you're voting for on Election Day. I think that's really important. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But I will say this. I had a great time tonight. National Night Out was tonight. I spent some time in my own neighborhood in Porter at the National Night Out event. And then I went over on the other side of the county to Stagecoach, and I enjoyed their gathering that they had with their community for National Night Out. It was a great event. A lot of people showed up to both, and it's really great to see communities come out and spend time together and enjoy the evening, and also seeing all the local law enforcement and first responders that come out to support National Night Out. That's what it's all about. It's about meeting those folks that protect our communities, whether it be the police or fire or EMTs. They are so critical to everything we do on a daily basis. They are the responders when we have trouble, and they can come save our lives. And it's a great night to be able to sit and talk to them and ask them questions and see the kind of stuff that they do. And Of course, it's always fun for the kids because, the fire trucks draw a lot of attention with the kiddos. So it was really great to see. I had a really good time. I really enjoyed it. Got to talk to a lot of great people and listen to people's, what they see as the issues in our county that need to be addressed. So really an awesome time. And I hope everyone was able to get out and do that. So back to the election. So why is it important to vet candidates? Because, you need to be an informed voter. The best thing you can do is be an informed voter. And the way, I know it takes time, and it really does, to be able to research candidates. Again, I always suggest that you go find out where these candidates are going to be in person, so you can go hear what they have to say and you can ask them questions. I know for me, my Facebook page has all of my events that I do on it, and where I'm going to be, my town halls, and any other public events. I also encourage you to join my email list. You can go to my website, jstittleburg.com, and sign up to join us and give us your information and your email. And we send out an email at the beginning of every week with every public event that I'm going to be at that week. So you can choose which one you want to come to. And I encourage you to do so. Regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, I encourage you to do so. Come out and ask me questions because I will answer them for you. That is what I feel my job is, being a candidate in this race, and I really want people to do their research so you're informed when you go to the polls, because I think that's really important. This affects your day-to-day life, and local politics is so important because it can affect your pocketbook faster than anything else does in our political world, faster than the state politics does, faster certainly than our federal politics does. So I again encourage you to do that research. Because you may find things that are a little bit interesting to you. And again, I've said this time and time again, and I'll say it again. These county races, all these county races are, partisan elections or partisan races about nonpartisan politics. I mean, county politics should really not be partisan to begin with, because this is really about how we run the county business and how we spend your tax dollars. That's what the county government does. So the county government doesn't make laws. It doesn't change laws. The county government, really, it's about the transparent, accountable spending of your tax dollars. So, I just ask you to have an open mind and hear what I have to say. And look at my background and look at what I've done and look at what I want to bring to Montgomery County. That's all I ask. Just give me a chance. Keep an open mind and hear what I have to say. Because again, I had this discussion many times tonight. We need to get away from our polarized political world. And we need some elected officials that are going to demonstrate that and set the example for that. And really what I mean by that is, as Democrats and Republicans and independents of various types, we're always going to have differences on political issues and disagreements on political issues. And that's absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why we live in America. We're capable of doing that. We're allowed to do that. It's perfectly fine. We don't need to resort to name calling. We don't need to resort to grouping everybody. Well, you're a Democrat, so you're this, and you're a Republican, so you're this. Because it's just not the way it works. It's just not the way the real world works. And especially at the local politic level. So I encourage you to do that because, again, we have to get back to a place where we can talk to each other and have civil discourse. And when it comes to elected officials, we need to expect our elected officials to sit down with each other if they have differences and hammer out a compromise and find the solution that's best for the constituents that, in this case, in Montgomery County, the citizens of Montgomery County, the best solution that benefits the majority of the people and makes our quality of life here better. And that's what this is really about. So again, I'm asking you to keep an open mind and do some research and look at that. And certainly come to one of my events and ask me questions. I will never be afraid to answer your questions. You just need to come and ask them. So again, it's great to talk to you on another Tuesday night. I look forward to the next week. We have 5 hard weeks to go, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens on November 6th. But again, get registered if you're not. Make sure your registration's correct with your address. Early vote. I always recommend early voting. That way you can spend the rest of your time getting your friends and your neighbors to the polls to vote, so we can get this percentage of registered voters that actually go to the polls and vote during elections out there to actually vote and let their voice be heard. It's really important, and I encourage that. And of course, again, if you choose to vote on election day, or you just have to wait till election day, then again, just make sure you go to the right polling place, because you have to go to the one in your precinct. Again, have a great night. I'll see you out there, and I'll see you next week.